ISO 37001 Anti-Bribery Management System ABMS. Prevent bribery, strengthen integrity, build trust. Hello everyone and welcome to URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited. Today we are going to discuss an increasingly important subject for organizations around the world. ISO 37001 Anti-Bribery Management System or ABMS. In today's highly competitive global business environment, organizations operate across countries, industries, suppliers, contractors, agents, and business partners. With these complex business relationships come various compliance and integrity risks. One of the most serious risks is bribery and corruption. Bribery can affect organizations of every size. It can damage reputation, create financial losses, affect business relationships, result in legal and regulatory consequences, and undermine stakeholder confidence. So the important question is, how can an organization establish a systematic approach to preventing, detecting, and responding to bribery? This is where ISO 37001 can provide a structured management system framework. In this video, we will explain what ISO 37001 is, what an anti-bribery management system means, who can implement ISO 37001, the major requirements of the standard, bribery risk assessment, anti-bribery policies and controls, due diligence, financial and non-financial controls, training and awareness, reporting and investigation, internal audits, management review, certification readiness, and how URGS can support your organization. So let us begin. Chapter 1. What is ISO 37001? ISO 37001 is an international standard that provides requirements and guidance for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving an anti-bribery management system. The purpose of an ABMS is to help organizations establish reasonable and proportionate measures designed to prevent, detect, and respond to bribery. The standard is applicable to organizations of different sizes and sectors. It can be relevant to private companies, public sector organizations, government-related entities, non-government organizations, international businesses, manufacturing companies, construction companies, engineering organizations, consulting firms, financial organizations, healthcare organizations, technology companies, trading companies, and many other organizations. One of the important principles behind ISO 37001 is that organizations should take a systematic and risk-based approach to anti-bribery. Instead of simply stating we do not allow bribery, an organization should establish practical controls that help prevent and address bribery risks. This means looking at actual business activities and asking where could bribery risks arise, who could be exposed to those risks, which third parties are involved, what financial controls are required, what approvals are necessary, how can suspicious activities be reported, and what should happen if a concern is identified. This is where an anti-bribery management system becomes valuable. Chapter 2. Understanding bribery. Before implementing ISO 37001, it is important to understand what bribery means. In simple terms, bribery generally involves offering, promising, giving, requesting, or accepting an undue advantage in order to influence an action or decision. The specific legal definition can vary depending on applicable laws and jurisdictions. Bribery can involve money, but bribery is not necessarily limited to cash. It may involve gifts, hospitality, travel benefits, employment opportunities, donations, sponsorships, commissions, personal favors, undue discounts, political or charitable contributions were improperly used, or other forms of improper advantage. For example, imagine a company is bidding for a major infrastructure contract. An employee or intermediary offers an improper payment to influence the decision maker. That creates a bribery risk. Another example could involve a supplier offering an appropriate benefits to an employee in exchange for preferential treatment, or a third party agent demanding an unexplained payment while representing the organization. These situations demonstrate why organizations need effective anti-bribery controls. Now, Chapter 3. Why is ISO 37001 important? Let's now understand why ISO 37001 is becoming increasingly relevant. First, protecting organizational reputation. Reputation takes years to build but can be damaged very quickly by bribery allegations. An effective anti-bribery system demonstrates that integrity is taken seriously. Second, strengthening governance. ISO 37001 establishes a structured approach to anti-bribery governance. Responsibilities can be clearly assigned. Policies and controls can be documented. Risks can be evaluated. Performance can be monitored. Third, managing third-party risk. Organizations frequently work with agents, consultants, distributors, suppliers, contractors, joint venture partners, intermediaries, and other business associates. These relationships can create additional bribery risks. ISO 37001 encourages organizations to apply appropriate due diligence and controls based on risk. Fourth, improving employee awareness. Employees should understand what constitutes bribery, what gifts and hospitality may be acceptable, how should concerns be reported, what should they do if someone requests an improper payment. Training can help create an ethical business culture. Now, fifth, supporting compliance. Organizations operate under various anti-bribery and anti-corruption laws and regulations. ISO 37001 can provide a management system framework for strengthening anti-bribery controls. However, certification to ISO 37001 does not replace compliance with applicable laws. Organizations must still identify and meet their specific legal obligations. Now, Chapter 4, Leadership and Anti-Bribery Culture. One of the most important elements of an effective anti-bribery system is leadership commitment. Senior management must demonstrate that bribery is not acceptable. A policy alone is not enough. If an organization says we have zero tolerance for bribery, but employees see unethical practices being ignored, the system will not be effective. Leadership should therefore establish an appropriate culture of integrity. This may involve approving an anti-bribery policy, assigning responsibilities, providing appropriate resources, supporting the anti-bribery function, promoting ethical behavior, ensuring concerns can be reported, protecting people who raise genuine concerns as applicable, and ensuring that violations are appropriately addressed. The message from leadership should be clear. Business performance is important, but business performance must not be achieved through bribery. Chapter 5, Bribery Risk Assessment. An effective ABMS should be based on understanding bribery risks. This means conducting a bribery risk assessment. Organizations should consider the nature and extent of their bribery risk. For example, which countries does the organization operate in? Which industry does it serve? Does it work with government entities? Does it use intermediaries? Does it participate in public procurement? Does it operate through agents or distributors? Does it provide gifts or hospitality? Does it make charitable contributions? Does it participate in joint ventures? Does it work with high-risk suppliers? Does it frequently deal with licensing or regulatory authorities? These factors can influence the organization's risk exposure. A risk assessment may help the organization identify high-risk activities, high-risk locations, high-risk business relationships, high-risk transactions, and areas requiring stronger controls. The important point is that anti-bribery controls should be risk-based and proportionate. Not every business relationship will have the same level of risk. Now, Chapter 6, Anti-Bribery Policies and Controls. Once risks have been identified, the organization can establish appropriate controls. One of the most important controls is an anti-bribery policy. The policy should communicate the organization's commitment to preventing bribery. But organizations also need supporting procedures and operational controls. These may address gifts and hospitality, donations, sponsorships, political contributions where applicable, conflicts of interest, facilitation payments, business associates, financial controls, procurement, sales activities, contract approvals, expense claims, third-party payments, and reporting mechanisms. For example, if an employee wants to provide hospitality to a prospective customer, there should be a clear process defining what is acceptable and what requires approval. Similarly, payments to agents or consultants should be appropriately reviewed and controlled. The objective is to prevent improper transactions from being hidden with normal business expenses. Chapter 7, Due Diligence and Third Party Management. Third party relationships are particularly important in anti bribery management. Organizations may use sales agents, consultants, distributors, contractors, suppliers, customer agents, government relations consultants, joint venture partners, and other intermediaries. An organization may have strong internal controls, but if it does not understand the risks associated with third parties, significant exposure may remain. This is why due diligence is an important component of anti-bribery management. Depending on the risk, an organization may evaluate who is the third party, who owns or controls the organization, what is its reputation, what services will it provide, why is an intermediary required, what is the proposed compensation, does the compensation appear reasonable, are there relevant conflicts of interest, does the third party have appropriate compliance commitments, and are there other warning signs? The level of due diligence should be appropriate to the risk. High risk relationships may require enhanced due diligence and stronger controls. Contracts may also include appropriate anti-bribery provisions. Chapter 8, Financial and Non-Financial Controls. Anti-bribery controls can include both financial and non-financial controls. Financial controls may include payment approvals, expense authorization, segregation of duties, accounting controls, invoice verification, banking controls, budget controls, transaction review, and appropriate record keeping. The objective is to reduce the possibility that improper payments can be hidden or disguised. Non-financial controls may include procurement procedures, recruitment controls, supplier selection, tender processes, contract approval, sales processes, gifts and hospitality procedures, conflict of interest declarations, and third-party approval processes. For example, if one individual can select a supplier, approve the invoice, and authorize the payment without independent review, the organization may have increased risk. Appropriate segregation of duties can reduce this risk. Chapter 9, Reporting, Investigation and Response. Even strong controls cannot guarantee that bribery concerns will never arise. Organizations therefore need mechanisms for addressing concerns. Employees and relevant stakeholders should know where can I report a concern, who will receive the report, will the concern be handled appropriately, what happens after reporting. Organizations should establish appropriate processes for handling allegations and concerns. This may involve receiving reports, initial assessment, investigation, evidence gathering, confidentiality, decision making, corrective action, disciplinary action where appropriate, and control improvement. Organizations should also consider protections for people who raise concerns in good faith, consistent with applicable laws and organizational procedures. The objective is to create an environment where employees do not feel that they must remain silent when they identify potential misconduct. Chapter 10, Training and Awareness. Employees are an essential part of an anti-bribery system. Policies are only effective when people understand and follow them. Training should therefore be appropriate to employee roles and responsibilities. Employees may need to understand what bribery means, what improper advantages are, what gifts and hospitality requirements apply, how conflicts of interest should be handled, what third-party risk exists, how suspicious transactions should be reported, and what consequences may arise from violations. Higher risk personnel may require more specialized training. This can include sales teams, procurement personnel, finance teams, senior management, government-facing personnel, project managers, contract managers, and employees responsible for third-party relationships. Chapter 11, Internal Audit and Management Review. An effective anti-bribery management system needs to be monitored. This is where internal audits become important. An internal audit can evaluate whether policies are implemented, controls are operating, risks are appropriately managed, third-party due diligence is being performed, financial controls are effective, training is completed, records are maintained, reporting mechanisms are functioning, and corrective actions are properly addressed. Audits should not simply search for paperwork. They should evaluate whether the anti-bribery system is actually working. Management review is another important component. Senior management should periodically evaluate the performance of the ABMS. This may include reviewing audit results, compliance issues, reported concerns, risk assessment results, training performance, third-party risk, corrective actions, changes in the business environment, and opportunities for improvement. Now, Chapter 12, ISO 37001 Implementation Roadmap. So, how can an organization implement ISO 37001? Let's look at a practical roadmap. Step 1. Establish leadership commitment. Management should clearly communicate the organization's commitment to ethical business practices. Step 2. Define the ABMS scope. Determine which business activities, locations, and functions are covered. Step 3. Conduct bribery risk assessment. Identify and evaluate bribery risks. Step 4. Develop policies and procedures. Establish the anti-bribery policy and supporting controls. Step 5. Establish responsibilities. Assign appropriate responsibilities for managing ABMS. Step 6. Implement due diligence. Establish risk-based processes for employees, business associates, and relevant transactions. Step 7. Implement financial and non-financial controls. Strengthen procurement, payment, contracting, approval, and other relevant processes. Step 8. Training and awareness. Train employees and relevant business associates according to their roles and risks. Step 9. Establish reporting and investigation processes. Means provide appropriate mechanisms for raising and addressing concerns. Step 10. Conduct internal audit. Means evaluate the effectiveness of the implemented ABMS. Step 11. Management review. Review system performance and identify improvement opportunities. Step 12. Certification readiness. Once the system has been effectively implemented and demonstrated, the organization can prepare for an independent certification assessment where certification is desired. Now, Chapter 13. Common anti-bribery weaknesses. Organizations often face challenges such as weak anti-bribery policies, insufficient risk assessment, poor third-party due diligence, uncontrolled gifts and hospitality, inadequate conflict of interest controls, weak financial controls, insufficient employee awareness, poor documentation, inadequate investigation procedures, ineffective internal audits, and lack of management involvement. One important lesson is that an anti-bribery management system should not exist only within the compliance department. It should become part of the organization's overall management culture. Now, Chapter 14. How URGS can support your ISO 37001 journey. At URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited, we support organizations seeking to strengthen their anti-bribery governance and compliance systems. Our support can include ISO 37001 gap assessment and consultancy. We help organizations understand their current anti-bribery management practices and identify improvement areas. ABMS implementation support. We support organizations in establishing practical and anti-bribery management processes. Bribery risk assessment. We help organizations identify and evaluate bribery risk across relevant activities and business relationships. Documentation and process development. We support the development and improvement of anti-bribery policies, procedures, controls, and records. Employee awareness and training. We provide training to help employees understand anti-bribery requirements and their responsibilities. Internal auditor training. We support organizations in developing competent personnel who can evaluate the effectiveness of their ABMS. Internal audit support. We can support organizations in evaluating their implementation and identifying gaps before external assessment. Certification readiness and support. We help organizations prepare their management system and evidence for independent certification assessment. Our objective is to help organizations move beyond simply having an anti-bribery policy and towards a practical, risk-based, and continually improving management system. At last, conclusion. ISO 37001 is ultimately about more than preventing improper payments. It is about creating a culture of integrity, transparency, accountability, responsible business conduct. An effective anti-bribery management system can help organizations identify risks, establish appropriate controls, strengthen third-party management, improve employee awareness, and demonstrate a commitment to ethical business practices. Whether you are a multinational organization, SME, manufacturer, contractor, engineering company, trading organization, service provider, or public sector organization, a structured anti-bribery management approach can provide significant value. If your organization is considering ISO 37001 implementation, training, internal audit, or certification readiness, URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited can support your journey. For more information, contact URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited. Our email ID is info@urgsiso.com. Our mobile number is +91 73 5945 8455. Consultancy, implementation, training, internal audit, certification support. If you found this video useful, please like the video, share it with your professional network, and subscribe to our channel for more videos on ISO standards, compliance, auditing, certification, quality management, and professional training. Thank you for watching. This is URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited. Prevent bribery, strengthen integrity, build trust. See you in the next video.